The Ones Who Live, episode 2, now out. Let's talk about it. Okay, so the second episode of the new Walking Dead show, that is the Rick Grimes and Michonne show, Those Ones Who Live, is now out for you guys to go and check out. And look, last week's episode I thought was fantastic. This is the series I've been waiting for, the characters that I wanted to see run parallel with the new season. Now, when we get into this episode 2 is about Michonne's journey here, because episode 1 was all about showcasing where Rick was, what was going on, how he's in the conundrum he's in. Now we pan to Michonne, and look, Michonne, when she was first introduced, I believe season 3, I believe she was introduced. I might be wrong there, but I believe it was season 3 when she was introduced. This badass woman with a sword, man, and everyone loved it. Everyone loved watching her just chop zombies up with the sword. So she's a character that I grew to love throughout the series, so I was excited to see her back. And the journey we go on in episode 2 is wild, man. Like in the first episode, what they do really well is they get you attached to the new characters, because there's some new characters that we meet along the way. So obviously we know where Michonne was at the last time we saw her in the Walking Dead series, where she meets up with that group of people. Well, she saves some people that were left behind from that group and brings them back, and it happens to be the sister of the leader. So we then get introduced to these new people, and I tell you what, man, I really liked them. I don't know what it was, especially the little man. I mean, he was so good as a character, and he had this tragic backstory that just made this character, you really cared for this character, man. I really cared. I wanted him to survive. I wanted him to go the whole entire distance with Michonne, get there to Rick, and then come back to Alexandria and live there, or what is it called, the Commonwealth now, and live with them and just be happy, because the guy deserved it, man. And he's really cool because he can do all this creative stuff. And the thing that we saw kill Old Mate, another character who I actually liked that they killed off, we saw what he did with those things and how he created them. And dude, those things are freaking sick, bro. The little things that he shoots that hits and then explode, they're freaking sick, bro. They are so awesome. And he's got this little thing that he puts his arm on like that, and he shoots it like that. Dude was so cool, man. And then they go and rip your heart out. And this is where we get introduced to Rick's the crew that Rick's running with. And we see how evil they really are. Just the lengths they're willing to go to keep themselves secret and to gain control over everyone. So I really like that aspect. And you know what actually came to my attention when I was watching these first 2 episodes of this new show? We had the Commonwealth in season 11. They were supposed to be like the big bad villains, and they weren't really that bad or anything like that. Now, the scenario that Michonne and Rick are in, this feels like this should have been the big bad. Like this whole organization that's going on that we see, there's this shot of Michonne in there panned with like this whole military operation going on. This feels like this should have been the season 11 villain. This should have been the final villain for The Walking Dead. This just has it written all over it. To me, this feels like, how are Rick and Michonne going to get out of here, get free, without the likes of Carol, Daryl, Aaron, like, you know, all of them. How are they going to get free without the hope of them? Because I feel like the way that they are building up this organization is done so much better already in the first 2 episodes than the whole entire series of season 11 with the Commonwealth. Because the Commonwealth just never felt like that. This feels like an actual threat. This feels like, holy crap, how is Rick and Michonne going to get out of this? So I really wish this was running parallel with season 11, and this was going to be the big bad villain, and then, like, you know, Rick and that come back to the group, and then they have to fight in like the final part of the season against this. That would have been so much better in my opinion. I just feel like that, just the way that they're building this villain up, it could have been like that. But because they show it throughout this whole entire episode, just what they're capable of. And the way they drop the gas, bro, and they just kill so many people, it's brutal. And then you have that shot where Michonne's there and sees all the burnt bodies put together. It's gruesome. And I'm sitting there like, this should have been the big bad villain. This has got big bad villain written all over it. So I don't know why they chose to do it for this series rather than have it run parallel with season 11. I feel like that's a bit of a missed opportunity in my opinion. But I really like the story of Michonne and how she got really close with this other character. And then we finally, look, last episode, I don't remember the helmets of the people falling off or anything like that when Michonne was killing them at the end there. In this episode, they could retcon that and fix that. Obviously, I guess they would, I don't know. Maybe I missed it. I might have missed it. But in this one, she does pull them off and make them look in her eyes as she kills them, which is a nice touch. It's a throwback to Michonne, the old Michonne, who's like, yeah, bro, you're going to look into my eyes because you killed my friends. You killed my friends. And done. I must say as well, the effects, bro. The practical effects from the gas is fantastic, man. It was brilliant. When they're in the mall there and they've got like the bubbles growing and the boils and everything like that, and just the red and the blood and that. That was a heartbreaking moment, especially when you find out with one character what happened. So I really like that. And yeah, I'm not 100% sure on this plan that Rick's got here. I don't know if that was the move. I mean, he said that there was more coming, and we see that there was more coming. I still feel like that could have potentially got away. There was a chance, but maybe not. But it's set up. Now it's all set up. Now that Michonne's in there with him, it's going to be interesting to see. And then we have the ending there with Rick and the person who took Rick there. And now I'm starting to feel like, okay. This has got, the stakes have gone up in this show. And this show is already, in my opinion, these first 2 episodes, is already on course to be better than all of season 11. And that's what's frustrating, is that I feel like we could have such a good story with all the other characters integrated into here as well. That's just how I feel. But the whole journey Michonne's going on, and like, you know, her sense of hope, he's alive, and then all of a sudden it feels like it gets ripped out of her chest and it feels like it's over. And she's like, I know he's still alive, but this is the end of the line now. I need to go back and be with family. And that's when everything happens. But look, overall, man, I really enjoyed this episode. I really did. The first 2 episodes have been absolutely brilliant for me. Now we move into episode 3. Now that they're together and they're in the compound and all that stuff there, now this is where it gets interesting. And we're going to see Michonne be a badass again. Because, man, there's this one shot in here as well where she's sitting there and the zombies, there's just a herd of zombies, bro. And it looks insane. And then the purple fire on either side and it just splits like that. Such a gorgeous shot. It really is. But look, I love this episode. I love the first 2. Let me know your thoughts. Are you guys enjoying it? Smash it down in the comment section below. Smash that like button for me. Click subscribe. And I'll see you guys next video. Until then, stay safe and peace out.